Thank
I think
you.
we've mentioned several times there's all these energy bodies, the physical, emotional,
Mhm.
mental, and spiritual. And usually when I'm working with someone, I have this pie chart and it's got different areas of your life. For example, your relationship to yourself, personal discovery of yourself, health, your finances, fun and play, and spirituality, career, and integrity. So I had this idea that when you're growing up, as you start learning things and people say things to you, those first 8 years of your life, you haven't really physiologically built your ability to analyze or filter or push back on anything. Whatever someone tells you, you just take it as truth. Someone says you're brilliant, your subconscious mind has no judgment. It's no different than if someone says you're dumb. All right. So whatever someone told you, if they said you're brilliant, well, you're going to take that idea and apply it to all the areas of your life. I'm brilliant in finances, brilliant in my career, brilliant in my relationships, brilliant, all that stuff. But the opposite is true as well. So I had this one person, they came to one of my seminars and they said, I really need a job. I've sent out resumes for the last 2 years. No one has responded. I'm living off my credit cards. And he said, I just really need some help. And I said, well, let's work on something first. You don't believe this works, do you? No. Okay. So let's work on that. So I went through all that circle of all that stuff. And he wants his finances, but his soul says, that's not happening because there's other stuff over here.
Mhm.
And so it was an emotional block. There was a spiritual unbelief. There was a mental limitation, all these things. We got rid of his, I don't believe this works. Then we started working on the other aspects of his life. Well, how are you with this? And do you get to know you, just discover you? So we broke for lunch. He comes back after lunch. He says, I cannot believe this. One of those companies called me, interviewed me, and gave me a job. I said, well, that was kind of slow. Joking, of course. Right. But this is what I mean. So now not everything happens that fast because depending upon how deep a block or a mental issue is or a belief is, but I've seen so many of those things in so many years that when you are able to really get to the root of what really is happening, it may not be what you're wanting to work on, but whatever your soul says, this is really what we need to work on first. When you work on those things, then it's almost like a domino, okay, and then everything else just kind of happens. So I've seen that, and then it's happened to me as well. But just knowing that you take whatever the root is and you start working with what your soul wants, I've seen just tremendous changes like that. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Wow, again, so powerful. And I'm going to ask Dr. Anneli the same question. If you've got a case study or somebody,
Um, yeah,
where
I
there
have a
was a real holistic
yeah,
approach transformed.
I have a very moving, beautiful example. I started the academy in 2009 already, and in 2010 I had a new student. Someone showed up and said, "Well, I just read in the yellow pages. Remember those days when we still had the yellow pages?" He said, "I saw the Metaphysical Academy. I want to get in there." So he had no money. He had just come out of jail. He moved very quickly from Saskatchewan to Victoria, to British Columbia. And he said, "That's what I need. That's what I want." He was 27 years old. She didn't finish grade 12. And he just wanted to be in the academy. And he said, I really, I have screwed up my life. I want to be better. And I say that because it so much starts with a commitment. Uh, if you have clients, if you have people who just want you to do the work, it's not going to happen. So, and I told him that, but he was very clear on that also. So I said, great. And by the way, he paid throughout the years. This is a 5-year program, the academy program. He paid everything. It was delayed, but he totally kept his commitment to pay the full tuition fee. And so during the course of our working together, he finished grade 12, which as a 20-year-old, 27-year-old is a little bit embarrassing sometimes, in front of your peers. Then he did jobs as a cook. He got into sales. He even spent time picking up dead bodies, which is called transportation specialist. So he did that too. So he was not shy of work. And sometimes he had like 2, 3 jobs on the side. And he made it through grade 12, made it through college, and I shortened now. He got a bachelor's degree in indigenous art or indigenous history. And then he's now a probation officer. He got his pardon through, which took 7 years, and went through a whole lot of personal things. He is now probation officer in a town north here in British Columbia. He's still now part of Module 6, which I'm creating. I'm in the process of finishing now. And he has, at his age now, he's now in his 40s, early 40s, acquired a level of compassion and understanding to work with these many criminals that he's working with and drug addicts. He is spiritually totally committed to fulfill his lesson, and he knows now that his early journey was a total gift for him to be where he is today, and he's forever grateful. And I tell you, when he lived here, which was until about a year ago, he lived in Victoria, he came on Mother's Day and brought me flowers and asked me and gave it to me on Mother's Day. No, I don't have children, but it was so moving and so touching. And this is just one example of someone who said, I've had enough of this life. I'm going to change, and I'm doing whatever it takes. And boy, do I have a lot of admiration for this young man.